Previously on Squad Sprint.
We're about to go green here then at the Hungarian Grand Prix. 5 laps, no damage, full on wet race here. And look at this 3 wide here. We've got Sally, Sonic, Sunch and Veloce all trying to go through the middle. And wow, Sunch right now is the meat in that sandwich. Formula, Danny makes a double overtake though into turn number 1, but on the exit here, Veloce James has got very good traction indeed, gets across then to defend his position, and he's taken a love punt from behind. But I think you'll find, yes he is, Dornigan is going to hold on here, and he's going to pick up 3rd position. Great work from him.
Well, after the washout conditions last time out at the Hungaroring, it's time to head across the Atlantic Ocean to Canada for round number 8 of the Veloce Esports Squad Sprint. We're here at the 4.3 kilometre, 14 turn Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, which of course is built on a man-made island on the outskirts of Montreal. The circuit itself is a challenging one. It's tight, it's twisty, and the barriers are never far away. Will any of our top drivers end up in the Wall of Champions today? The skies look menacing above the city of Montreal, but there's no sign of any rain just yet as we get ready for round number 8 of the championship. Canada always throws up a cracking race. I'm sure today will be no different. Let's have a look at the starting grid then. John Isaac Harris starts from pole and Nerin is alongside in 2nd. Joe Wilkes is 3rd and Arava lines up alongside in P4. Row 3 for Dornigan and Tom. Dornigan is in fine form at the moment. It's P7 for Primero. Tom Storm Lartelo lines up in P8. Row 5 of the grid, it's Tiamat Murdoch starting 9th, and the E-Rock champ Veloce James is 10th. Sally Flying Finn is 11th. Photon, the race winner last time out, starts P12. And on the back row, Formula Danny 13th, and the championship leader Veloce Alonso starts from P14. Remember folks, let us know who your driver of the day is in the... Well, let's get this show on the road. We're on board with Eterno Veloce. He starts from P3 as the 5 red lights come on, and the Canadian Grand Prix round 8 is underway. Looks like John is bogged down off the start, and Nerin sweeps past into the lead. Joe has a little look up the inside, and John barges into the side of Nerin. Dodgeham's going through the first couple of corners as we go back to Veloce Dornigan in P5, who of late has been picking up some solid points. We've got a spinner, that was Joe I believe, round and spinning on the opening lap as Veloce James out of nowhere has swept up into the lead of this Grand Prix. We'll need to have a replay of that. He has got a storming start. On board with Tom, 97 HD. He's in P4 at the moment. He's being attacked by Sally, and Sally is going to go flying past. A slight contact there between the two drivers, but Sally, the winner, of course, of the German Grand Prix in the F1 Esports last season, has moved up into P4. Tom down to P5, and Tom sending one up the inside, as is Nerin further up the road. As we go back now to Formula Danny, who of course is in a championship fight with Sonch, and they're going side by side, the two championship rivals. Only 13 points between them at the moment, and Sonch has got the upper hand there. So he moves up into P8, Danny down to P9, as they race down towards the braking zone for that final chicane with a wall of champions on the outside, and Danny nearly becomes a victim as he slides the rear end through there. John under pressure, he's overtaken by Sonch. Danny trying to follow through. Danny round the outside. Oh no, the championship rivals have collided. Danny's into a spin, and he's going to drop all the way down to the rear of the field. Well, the championship rivals in the wars already as Arava and Primero make light contact, and Primero drops down to the back. I don't think Zach Brown will be too pleased with that as we go to a replay of the start. Primero into turn 1, he gets a thump initially into turn 1, not too sure from who, but he goes for a spin. This is on board with Ben, Tiamat Murdoch, the winner of course back in Russia, and he is the man to blame. He actually sends Storm round as well, and then he faces up to Arava head on. A little bit of a romantic head on head kiss there between the two as we go back to Veloce James. I suppose it was Valentine's Day the other day, so a fitting time for you guys to kiss. And James there, of course, cutting across the corner at turns 1 and 2, and just through all the melee, 4 illegal overtakes, and he's got no interest of allowing them positions back, and he'll try and make up for lost time when he receives those penalties. So here we are now on board with Veloce James. Oh, look at that! That's a huge slide! Nearly off into the barrier there. For some reason it showed Photon ahead of him in his screen there, but that's not true. Photon's busy fighting with Tom the YouTuber, and Photon's got the jump and up into P5. A really eventful start here in Canada. I did say at the start that it always throws up a crazy race, and that's exactly what we've seen in the opening 1.5 laps. So back to Primero, who's been facing the wrong way twice in the opening 1.5 laps. He won't want to be facing the wrong way again. And, oh, well, very nearly was as he bounces off the barrier. Thankfully, damage isn't on. As we go back to Ben, who's in P14 and not having a good afternoon at all by his incredibly high standards in this series so far. On to the back of Veloce Primero then. They're fighting over the wooden spoon at the moment. 13th in P14. Veloce James sets his brand new fastest lap out front as Primero and Ben debate P13. Unlucky for some, and he's up the inside. Tidy stuff from Ben. Good move on Primero. And he's up into P13, but Primero fighting back. It's brilliant this. We love the squad sprint. We get action everywhere you look, up front and further down the back. And Primero is through. No, he's not. He's been punted round by Ben. Off goes Primero into a spin. And he drops down the order. Back on board with Veloce Donny again. We did say that he was in fine form. A podium last time out in Hungary. And carrying on that great form. And has he had contact there with Sally? Yes, he has. And that form book, throw it out the window as he drops straight back down the order to P7. Make that P8. And we go on board with Niren. This is crazy. Action everywhere. And now Niren's losing places. Tom goes through. And now Sonch is going to be on his tail. This is mental. Lap 3 out of 5. I'm running out of breath. I think we need an advert break. ITV style. Official FNG then loses out to Son. She goes up to P6 in this crazy topsy-turvy race. Veloce James out front will be wondering what all the fuss is about. Here goes Tom attacking Storm now. Oh, looks left, looks right, goes down the outside of Storm. Can't do that. Bundles across the curbs and Storm holds on, and Tom picks up a warning for a corner cut penalty. Sonch now gaining on the back of Tom, the championship leader of course, who's been in the wars earlier on with his big rival Formula Danny. But the more these two scrap over the lower places, the more that invites the likes of Veloce James, the likes of Photon, to get back into this title race. As Tom and Sonch, oh no! Contact between those two, and I was just speaking about it. They can't get involved in contact, the likes of Danny and Sonch, and they're doing it, and at the moment, 4 laps out of 5, they're not going to pick up very many points at all. And they might invite the likes of Photon, the likes of James, right into this hunt. Well, I can't wait to see the standings at the end of this race if it keeps going like this. Arava picks up a 2-second time penalty for corner cutting as he closes on the back of Niren. The two content creators doing battle. Arava down the outside of Niren, rubbing wheels down at the hairpin. A little bit of lag as well as Formula Danny and Sonch close in on the back of the two content creators. Lap 4 out of 5. Down the back straight they go towards the wall of champions, and Arava looking to make a move. And look at that, Danny backing out behind those two. Doesn't want to get involved in any incident. He's going to try and slingshot out of this chicane, and that's exactly what he does. Pulls alongside Arava and moves straight past up into P7. So Danny on a bit of a salvage job at the moment after a poor opening to the race. Can he pick up as many points as possible? Well, he's done a great job passing Arava, and he's made light work of Niren as well, and takes P6. So that's 8 points in the bag at the moment for the Hungarian driver. On board with Tom as he fights over the wooden spoon with Veloce Isa, who started this race on pole, remember. He'll be gutted with how this race has gone. But Tom, 97 HD, takes P13 away. We're on the final lap of this race. And now we're on board with Arava, who's currently in P8, and he's got Sonch right behind him. And for the championship, I know it's still early in the season, but every point is a prisoner if you're in a championship fight. And Sonch will know that. Is he going to send it up the inside of the hairpin? He sure is. The fans are all on their feet down there, and that's a beautiful move from the Sauber driver up into P8. But it's time to go back on board with Veloce James. Only Formula Danny has won 2 races so far this season. That's about to change because Veloce James comes across the line. He wins in Montreal. He becomes the second man to win 2 races this year as Arava launches it back up the inside into the chicane. Is he ahead of Sonch? You better believe it. It's a drag race to the line. Oh, look how close it is. As they run up to the line, it wasn't Sonch, was it? Yes, it was Sonch. I thought it might have been Niren. And Arava just about stays ahead. Let's have a look at the final race results from a breathless 5 laps here in Canada. Veloce James takes the 25 points, sticks them in his pocket It's a fantastic win for him. Flying Finn comes home in second, with Tom, Storm and Lartelot in third. A great result for the Frenchman. Photon comes home in P4, solid stuff there. Donniaden again picking up points in P5. Formula Danny, P6, solid recovery I suppose. Ben ended up 7th, what a recovery for him as well. Niren came home in P8, Arava came home in P9, and Joe Eternal Wilkes got the final point in 10th. Look at those drivers' standings, absolutely incredible. 7 points cover the top 5. Veloce James shoots to the top of the standings. I mentioned it earlier on in the series. Consistency is key, and that's what this man is doing. He now leads by 2 points over the two brothers, Alonso and Flying Finn, who both have 107. Photon and Danny, the two Hungarians, just behind on 103 and 102. Team Marek is next, some distance back in P6. Tom Storm Lartelot is P7. Donniaden is 8th in the standings, Primero is 9th, and Tom rounds out the top 10. He's 1 point ahead of Jack Brimble McConnell. Arava is 12th. Joe Eternal Wilkes P13 with 11 points. Niren is 14th with 5.
Next time, round 9, Austria.